Hey guys, this video is still kind of hard to make. I made one part, that's why I have the best on in the end of this video and not now. I get that this is hard. It's over now. It's done. Sherlock is gone. Well, not gone, because we can still watch the episodes. We can still make our own ending. And though we didn't get what we thought we wanted, we still got a beautiful love story, and we still got a beautiful, beautiful story overall. And I just want to say something. What Sherlock and what representation in general means to me as a gay man myself. First off, Sherlock. When I first found this show, it was already 3 seasons in. Abominable Bride had already come out. Only reason I watched it is because I heard that there was a lot of theories about Sherlock and John dating. I just thought that was an interesting concept, and so I watched it. I started from season 1, episode 1, and I went all the way up to Abominable Bride, and I was hooked. From the first few minutes of the first episode, I was hooked. And it wasn't until I started reading into it, until I started getting into the theories, when I started realizing how much this show, or how much I thought at the time, was really, showing us what kind of a power couple 2 guys can be. And I thought that was just a beautiful message. And even if that wasn't in-game, I still think that's a beautiful message to send. And I'm so glad that things ended the way they did, because it was more than any of us could have expected. And like Stephen Moffat said, he told us, they all told us, they're not dating. They were simply friends, and we didn't listen. So, I guess the rug was pulled after all. But it's okay. And going on to representation in general. When I see, thinking back to when I was younger, like in middle school, and like Glee had come out. Glee came out when I was in like elementary school still, but I was a huge fan, addicted to the show. And when I would see Kurt and Blaine happy together, I would look and I'd be like, you know what? That's gonna be me someday. I'm gonna have a guy like that, and we're gonna be like that. We're gonna do all the cute things. And in between that and fighting some weird, fear of the religion I had at the time, or the religion I thought everyone had at the time, it really was like a glimmer of hope. And then, came a show like Modern Family, which at first I thought, oh, well, this is really interesting, it's hilarious, and I more paid attention to the story arc of Mitch and Cam than anything else. But now I kind of see it as like, that's one thing that Sherlock opened my eyes to, is the difference between actual representation and exploiting stereotypes. Because now, when I watch Modern Family, while I still think the show is hilarious, I really see a lot of stereotypes being exploited of, the dumb dad and the 3 kids, the smart one, the dumb one, and the out there one. And the like overly camp, gay husbands that have adopted an Asian child. The fucking rich old guy who takes a much younger woman, and the much younger woman being from a different country that's South African. Well, not South African, I mean South American, my bad. Basically the show's built on stereotypes. And while I'm not condemning it, while I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm saying that that's not really the kind of representation I was looking for. And Sherlock, even though it never became explicit representation, became the representation that I was looking for. So, even though we never got our John Locke moment, we still got a beautiful story. Even if love just means friends. And even if, Sherlock and John are actually boyfriends or husbands or whichever, that's up to us to think about, you know? And I'm immensely thankful for what we did get, and I will always be immensely thankful for what we did get. And I'm proud to be along for this ride. And I'm so happy that I was along for this ride. Thank you to everyone who was involved with Sherlock, whether you were one of the actors, or whether you were the director, or writers, or anything, whether you were creating TJLC theories, Thank you. This has been amazing. It's been more than I could ever ask for. So thank you. And to everyone else, I'll be okay. Look, I didn't die from the John Locke-induced heart attack that I thought I was going to die from. And I know I seem pretty somber in this video, but don't mistake this for sadness. So I'll catch you in the next one. So long, and good night. Oh, and one last thing. Sherlock, though this atmosphere, this question of what was going to happen next is now dead and gone, believe me when I say your memory will carry on. And cheesy My Chemical Romance reference aside, thank you.